You know, the human race has a strange infatuation with programming, whether it's film or TV, about criminals. And it doesn't matter what crime they commit. It could be a fictitious show like Power. It could be a biopic about Jeffrey Dahmer. Or it could be a 60-minute segment on O.J. Simpson. You know, if it's a true story, we're definitely tuning in. Like, all eyes on the TV. So when I first saw the trailer for this, I said, you know what, I'm definitely going to watch it, because not only is the homie Matthew McConaughey in it, and I feel like him and I are the only two people that actually enjoy those Lincoln commercials, but then I saw a lot of rappers like YG, Danny Brown. I saw the actress from Hit the Floor. I don't know whatever happened to that show, but I liked it. I said, you know what, I got to check it out. And it's about a 15-year-old drug kingpin. Who wouldn't want to watch this? So before I begin, if this is your first time tuning into this channel, I give you reviews, all spoiler-free all the time. Not most of the time, not some of the time, all the time. I tell you what I liked about it, I tell you what I didn't like about it, and I give you a score at the end. It's just that simple. Point blank, period. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. So if that sounds like something that you might be into, you might want to consider subscribing. And now, without further ado, the review shall commence. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's Abwon, and this is Before You Watch, spoiler-free reviews, as I stated earlier. So I was a little conflicted this weekend. I wanted to watch The Predator, and I wanted to watch White Boy Rick, but I didn't know which one to choose because I only do one review at a time, unless it's a dual review, and these aren't movies in the same genre. So I made a Facebook post asking people what they wanted to see, and the majority of the votes went to White Boy Rick. So after careful planning and research and strategizing, because all of my videos are basically about timing, so I can navigate my way through the algorithm and, researching these analytics, I said I'm definitely going to watch White Boy Rick. And let me tell you something. I am glad I chose this film. Because after watching it, I took a long stroll to my car just to reflect on the movie and what I watched, how it compared to other films of its type. So I wanted to give you something that wasn't just concise, but also precise, because White Boy Rick isn't your run-of-the-mill drug dealer film. You know, we had Superfly that was released a little earlier this year. Compared to this film, I feel like Superfly kind of glorified the drug dealer lifestyle, you know, living lavish, being a celebrity and things like that. But compared to films like Blow, New Jack City, Paid in Full, White Boy Rick stands on its own. Now, granted, this is based on a true story, and I think Blow is the only film that I just stated no, Paid in Full is also based on a true story too. But White Boy Rick is just completely different. Number one, he's a teenager. All the other films, they're grown men. He's a teenager. This movie is more about him being an informant than it is being a drug dealer. However, he still is a drug dealer, but he's not leaving behind a trail of blood in his wake as he, ascends to the top of the narcotics rank. That's not what he does. You kind of see the characters and their environment, the kind of products of their environment, and they're pretty much just basically just trying to keep the family together and just come out the gutter, pretty much. Like, they're just tired of being poor, they're tired of being broke, and they just want to be happy. They want to be a tight-knit family again. They just want to be happy for once, and that's pretty much it. Matthew McConaughey, who plays a father, he has his dreams and things like that, aspirations, and he just wants to do things the right way. The way he goes about bringing in money to the household is legal, but not really. I won't get too much into that. You just have to watch the film. And White Boy Rick, he kind of just falls into the trap. I won't get into it. You just have to pretty much just watch the movie to understand how it happens. And then you see things unfold. However, you will not see him driving around in Hummers and, taking trips to the Bahamas. Things like that don't happen. It's a little bit more practical, a little bit more low key. Like I said, he's 15. So he's stashing money in shoe boxes, he's wearing chains, he's driving like Mercedes Benzes. That's pretty much it. He's wearing like fur coats, stuff like that. You don't feel like he's the man. You know, the guys that he starts out with that were, you know, the OGs and the top of the food chain, you feel like they run things. You really do feel like they run things. And, you know, Rick is kind of just there, floating around, learning. He's like the token white guy, I guess you could say. The gentleman that played Rick, I feel like he was the weakest link in the movie in terms of acting. I mean, granted, he did do his thing in some scenes, but everybody else around him just kind of propelled the film. Matthew McConaughey, I mean, seeing this guy go from heartthrob in these rom-coms when he first started to who he is now, you know, winning awards and stuff like that, it's just like, I just gotta applaud this man, because I love Matthew McConaughey. He low-key really is one of my favorite actors. Like, this man can just act. And in this movie, I really felt for him. Like, as a father trying to keep his family together, I really felt for him. I really felt for him. This movie showed you how delicate and fragile the entire family dynamic can be, especially when it comes to money. And even though he's older and I guess you could say, quote unquote, washed up, he's still trying to make something of himself. The gentleman that Rick kind of started out with, his friends, things like that, I mean, they play their part. They play their part. You don't really grow too attached to them. They play their part. This movie is more about the family. Everybody else is they're just in it for the ride. I wish the movie touched on a topic between how his father came into having the relationship with the police first, instead of just kind of throwing that into the picture. But I get it. The movie's more about Rick, not his father. So I get it. Shout out to YG, man. He definitely did his thing in this movie. Like, I can't even lie. You know, when musicians like try to dabble into acting, they kind of draw away from the film, and you're sitting in your seat feeling really uncomfortable and you're feeling really awkward for them. I didn't feel that way in this film at all. Like, anytime YG was on the screen, granted, he didn't have a huge role, but that doesn't matter because all it takes is one botched line. Anytime he was on the scene, I felt like he had a fantastic job. I really feel like he can transition into movies like how Ludacris did and do a fantastic job at it. So shout out to him. This movie is really gritty, y'all. Like, really, really, really gritty. It has emotional scenes. Some people were crying on their way out. Some people gave it a round of applause at the end of the film. And there's this segment, I guess you could say, before the credits start, like their Easter egg, like how Marvel has like their scenes, it's like their Easter egg. And it's just going to give you a new outlook on life and just appreciate the simpler things. You know, this is a film where you're going to walk out and you're going to call your cousin, your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, whoever, or some type of relative or friend that maybe you guys had a falling out or whatever may have you, and you're just going to call them and tell them you love you. You love them. That's just pretty much just what it is. It just hits home at some scenes. That's just it. My biggest drawback from the film is that some of these characters have like a southern accent, but not really. I can't really explain it. So they have the accent and then they're talking fast, so their words are like kind of jumbled up. So it's kind of hard to follow what they're saying in some scenes. But it doesn't take away from the movie where it's like, oh my God, what did he just say? I just missed something important. Nah, it doesn't. It was just kind of difficult for me to kind of follow them through and through. But I mean, it is what it is. All in all, I'm going to give this movie a 7.7. I'm definitely going to watch it again. I feel like I could watch it again right now. So if you're into crime films, if you're into dramas, I would definitely check this movie out. If you're into those violent type of crime films, don't watch this. Do not watch this movie. But it's just a different side of crime, I guess you could say, if that makes any sense. If it makes any sense. You just have to watch it. It's a different type of crime film. So check it out. I give it a 7.7. Hit me up in the comments. Let me know what you thought. You know what I mean? I got a brand new video with EB Rebel out right now discussing the whole Colin Kaepernick Nike situation. You definitely don't want to miss that. Hit me with a like if you really enjoyed this film. And once again, if you want to come back for more content, do not forget to subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Hit that notification bell. Anytime I post a video, which is a lot, a lot, twice, 3 times per week sometimes, you'll get the notifications. Anyway, I feel like I've taken too much of your time already. I'm out of here, y'all. Peace.